Hello everyone, Orky here, and welcome to another Girls Frontline 2 video. So PRYDWEN has just released their tier list, and let's have a look on how they've set it up. So it's more of a collector waifu game. When it comes to combat, teams are more important than sole characters. A strong character without a proper team to support their playstyle and kit will struggle and not perform well. So they didn't look at the character in a vacuum and took into account their best teams and synergies. You'll find their pros, cons, and overview of their playstyle, assistance of multiple day one CN players and veterans on the CN server. So global tier list focuses on early mid game, impact on characters, on your progression, assumes non-optimal attachments and keys available early, and it does include PvP. CN looks at late end game and based on the current meta and best in slot equipment, and it's not for PvP either. Okay, and then some characters could fit into multiple roles like Somi. What's their criteria here? So SR and SSR for global is rated at no dupes, and for CN, SR are rated at max dupes, V6. Absolute best, good, niche. Alright, so that's the official release. Okay, let's have a look. So we have Xiaomi here. Actually, this is global. So Xiaomi, we're looking at S+. And yeah, she's still S+ there on CN. So she's really solid all around. And I feel like it's really good if you're re-rolling. Really aim for Xiaomi there. We have Kyungju and Tololo, both at S tier. They're amazing there, but you can see here Tololo does drop off in CN endgame there, and yeah, there's just so much better units later on. Kyungju's still sitting at S tier there, so I think it'll be a good start with Xiaomi and Kyungju, but then Tololo's really good early game as well, but she does end up dropping off pretty hard there. Merchant Nugget there, yeah, A there, and drops to C. So yeah, we'll just have a lot of our standard units drop down a lot later on. Lotus even higher than all these other SSR units. So yeah, and we get her for free from the event, so that's amazing. And that's for DPS there. Uldred, she's a limited, and she just drops off, right? From B and then to C. The only SS user in this game currently, but that's the only thing unique about her. Shakri, ooh, she does end up better later on in the end game. Best single target SR in the game and core member of the burn teams. And Nemesis, I think she's the only one who does end up going higher in the CN, right? Yeah, okay. Patia, we get her for free, so that's pretty good. AoE potentials unmatched, comes at a cost being below average at anything, but she does need like a proper full AoE team, and yeah, very dupe and team reliant, so making her really hard to use. And Vepli, she's basically just outclassed straight up by Lota, from what I heard, and Krolik is a meme. All right. And looking at our amplifiers, so we have Cheetah. She comes for free from the starter, and Litara's there, and Nugget there in C as well. They're fairly but all straightforward. Sermi's undisputed there for the sustain. Ksenia's pretty good, but I feel like at the start we're mainly focusing on the damage dealers to output a lot of damage. And then we also have Sabrina and Groza there. Yeah, just there's not many units to choose from, and you know it's release, so that's what we expect. And yeah, looking at the CN tier list, things are fairly similar here and there. They just got Endoris released, so that's very interesting. And then Kyungju's still up there, so that's what we'd like to see. Even 1 year, so CN are already having their first anniversary. I believe that will be sometime in mid-December. That's when the actual anniversary is. But even 1 year after release, you can see these early units, so standard units like Kyungju and um, Paritia, they're pretty high. Even Sabrina as well. So I think it's fairly decent, even if you're only getting standard banner units. They're going to be solid even after a year into the game. So, alright, I think that's pretty much it. I think this tier list is fairly accurate for how the game's going to go for Girls Frontline 2. And yeah, just can't wait until this releases here for us. And I also picked up the CN tier list I was looking at as well, and just want to really compare how the tier list matches up with PRYDWEN CN tier list there. So we have Macchiato and Kunju there, and Belka, so they mark them as tier 0. Kluke, we have her as tier 0 AoE, so they split up the DPS, which makes sense there. We have Suomi there in the sustain section, and Centerasi there. We also have Belka here in the support section alongside Vector as well. And Centerasi again. Centerasi, yeah, they just put them into all these different sections. Actually, I should probably translate this. Alright, perfect. And alright, so they did mark Tololo a bit higher. Tololo is actually here in B tier, but she was pushed up into tier 1 here on CN as a single target, so they do rank her a bit higher, maybe especially for the early game and the progression as well. Shakri's here, and Zhang Yu. Okay, so they mark Zhang Yu a bit lower on the PRYDWEN one. And where is Purita and Dayan? Purita. So Purita's actually marked down a little bit lower, and we can see Lota here is in tier 1 instead of here in the B tier. And where is Vepli? Vepli's actually been pushed all the way to the bottom on PRYDWEN's tier list. They really don't like Vepli, do they? Yes, so who are we missing? Dayan. Dayan, where are you? Dayan. That's interesting. Yeah, Dayan's here in the Manuro tier. Alright, so that's still the same tier for Dayan. And Dushevanya. Dushevanya is sitting at, yeah, Dusani, right? Yeah, so I think that's fairly comparable. A straight down to B, so it's sort of moved around here. Meshti is Meshti's here in tier 1, so that's comparable to the A tier. And Ksenia is, yep, also sitting there. And we also have Sabrina here at the tier 1 A tier. So I think that's very comparable. We already saw these were moved up. And I feel like this is a very yeah, because the CN, they split them into multiple different roles and base the tier on the roles. Like, for example, we have Sabrina as AoE output on the tier 2, but then she is also in tier 1 on the defensive. So, bit of a split here and there. Groza's there. Uldred has dropped down, but that's for the maneuvering. Uldred here, is she even here as a DPS? I don't really think so. They don't even consider her much of a DPS at all, so that's a shame. And I think that's pretty much it. Krollik's down there at the bottom, and Vepli's down at the bottom for maneuverable, but yeah, it does seem interesting that she was ranked that high as an AoE DPS. So yeah, even with these tier lists with like PRYDWEN and everything, we do have to look and compare like how they analyze the units, and you know, everybody judges things a bit differently, and you do have to take it with a grain of salt there. Alright, look, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.